Okay guys, we're going to look at Euro JPY and we're going to see if we can extract a little bit of money from it. Roll the intro and we'll get into it. And a warm welcome to one and all. Now I'm following on from a question that was asked by Luma in the Discord. I'll show you in just a second. So it's a little salute to you, kid. Stop your itchy finger. Actually, it was very brave of you to admit that in the group. It's something we all have. And trying to be in the markets all the time is a terrible thing because you're constantly chasing the money. The problem with that is it delves into gambling. And if you're gambling, this job ain't for you. You know, just forget it. But if you can recognize it, you can work on it. And that's where your journals come into place. And that's why I use my journals all the time. But I also use a tool, and we use this regular, that can slow you down by working your way through. Now, let me give you an example. Let me just pull this over. Now, if I go to Discord, and I kind of explain this for you before we go into chart, which I'll be going very shortly. Down here in the requests, it was up early, 20 past 6. Bloody hell. Can we look at Euro JPY? Of course we can. So I did a full breakdown of it, which is here, you know, and worked everything out what we were doing. So that was a quarter 8. Now I'll also sort of whack into charts and strengths, whether it's good, bad or indifferent. So you can see JP is at the top, Euros in here, and there's a news video that I do every morning as well. So if you subscribe, you'll get that really early and you'll be able to see this, whether it's good, bad, indifference, works with a watch list, and it's a useful tool. Now also, if we go down into these, drop it into here and you can have a little look, see what's going on with it, and the guys will have a bit of a chat. Now, why am I doing this? Well, I do it to try and show the market before we go to market. So it's very easy to say, well, I did this after the event. It's a little bit harder before the event. And that's kind of the point of difference. Now, we're now at 9 o'clock. And the sheet, actually, I need to go into market right now. Bear with me just a second. While I was chatting, I've kind of missed the board. Just drop that onto there. Right, in. Okay. Right. I just needed to put the order in, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need it to be on the top of... it's a little bit too close. That's it. That's better. Okay. Right. So we're in. Let me explain what's going on here. It's telling me to scalp it. Now, if I just pull up this sheet, I work it on what we call a bias tool. All the engines here, and the guys have access to it for the rogues. Now, what it's telling me to do is the main area, it's selling. It's a selling market, and if we look at it, it is. Now, it's also telling me the low time frames are buying, the trade is a buy, but the +1, -1 is kicked in, and it's told me to scalp it, and it's telling me to scalp for roughly about 9 pips. It's telling me it's risky, so I've got to be a bit careful. So I'll explain what's going on with that. But that sheet has kept me out of that market for a good hour and a bit till now. So it's pushing in. Now we can see on the 5-minute chart, this has had a merry run up here, and it's now coming to touch onto these. So it told me to go for about 9 pips. So if I target in just about 10 or so, so I'm going to put 10, which is there. We've got the break of the level and it's pushy. We can do the count back, which is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's the entry point above it. It's clipped it in and away. Right. Now we've just been doing what we call a market call, where we have a chat. And one of the things we were discussing was, is a trade worth it? Well, where's the testing point on this? Well, if I step it back and we see, now you can see it's on a Murray run down. So if this is just a pullback, well, that can come up, bounce off that, and then carry on further down. Now, as we talk, and this might actually go slamming into target, because we're currently at 40 pips. But if it's going to test, it's going to come all the way through this and go back to there. So my stop in areas of pain need to be under here. But the problem that I have is, how do I make this worth it? Well, it's actually not that far. So I would stage down into this level. And if it breaks that level, then I know I'm wrong. I've got to get out, because it will run down to here. And obviously getting from there to there to hold it down to there, it's too much to bear. So I just wouldn't do it. But if I slice that up, then I can kind of make an argument into a 1-to-1. Now, most people won't get this because they haven't got a clue how any of that works. They're just constantly fed, it's 2-to-1, it's 2-to-1, it's 2-to-1. How's that working out for you? Put it in the comments and tell me whether you make a living out of it. Because if you don't, I'd be questioning it. And you know what? I do. It's all about return on investment, guys. I'll put X amount of money into the market and I'll spend that money wisely to get a sort of a return that I'm after. Now, this may well run to that red line, but that sheet has told me to be really careful. So for this hour, if I get 10 pips on a fiver, which is what we're looking at, well, that's 50 quid. And then I can reevaluate it in the next hour. And I might do another 50 quid in that hour. So it works out an hourly wage of about 50 quid an hour. I'm quite happy with that. Now let's step this back a little bit further. Right, okay, you can go, well, that's a double bottom, so therefore this is a full-on retracement. Yeah, but this is an hour. Yes, they could retrace all the way up to here quite easily. So that means I can just slice it up. But at the moment, I'm working between these two levels, this one and this one. And I only want 50 quid. Why? Now let me show you something. Go back to this. Because if them two start coming into play, this thing will rattle away like there's no tomorrow, and I'll be on the wrong side of the trade. But I've just been paid now £50, and it has taken me 4 minutes. So 50 quid in 4 minutes, because I started rattling on at 9, 10, 11ish, and we entered the trade at 9:12, and it's now 9:16. So 4 minutes, 50 quid, job done. So you tell me, guys, was that an easy hourly rate? Don't need to do anything now at 10 o'clock. Don't have to do anything at all, because I'm actually finished for the week. I've been paid this week. This job isn't too difficult if you plan it out. Value your thoughts. If you want to see more of it, do subscribe to the channel. If you want to see exactly how I trade and read the chart, come along to the membership. Join the Scruffy squad, and I'm there every day, and you see what I do before I do it. So as always, guys, trade well, keep keep your risk managed, and above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you on the next one.